You know what's crazy? Claire's voice was shaky as she recounted it later. One minute I'm checking charts, and the next, I've got a biker twice my size grabbing my uniform like he owns me. It had started like any other shift in the emergency ward. Controlled chaos, the hum of monitors, the shuffle of nurses' shoes. But everything changed the moment the gang burst through the doors. They weren't there for medical help. They were there to intimidate. Their leader, a bald, tattoo-covered man with leather vest and cold eyes, stomped toward her, his injured buddy trailing behind. Without warning, he shoved a patient chart off the counter and got right in her face. Before we move further into this story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. Let's dive in. That uniform's ours now, he growled, fisting the front of her blouse and yanking her forward. The smell of stale beer and cigarette smoke hit her hard. Behind him, his crew grinned like jackals. Around them, doctors and nurses froze, not because they didn't care, but because everyone knew the reputation of this gang. They were trouble on wheels, and trouble had just rolled into the ER. Claire's mind went oddly still. She remembered something her father, a firefighter, had told her. Fear's just energy. You can waste it shaking, or you can use it to move. Her eyes darted around the ward, searching for anything she could use. That's when she spotted it. A battered wooden chair shoved into the corner, its armrest cracked from years of use. The biker let go just long enough to shove her backward, laughing as she stumbled. "Run along, little nurse," he mocked. But instead of backing away, Claire turned toward the chair. She wrapped her hands around the broken armrest and yanked hard. With a sharp crack, the splintered piece came free, jagged and pointed like a weapon. Gasps rippled through the room. Straightening, she tightened her grip on the wood and locked eyes with him. "You picked the wrong day," she said, her voice low and even. The biker's smirk faltered. Behind him, his buddies exchanged uncertain glances. They'd come expecting easy prey, not resistance. A doctor started to speak. "Claire, don't—" But she silenced him with a quick shake of her head. She stepped forward, closing the gap until the jagged point was inches from the biker's chest. "This is a hospital," she told him, "and my job is to help people. But if you think for 1 second I'm going to let you terrorize my staff, you're dead wrong." For a heartbeat, no one moved. The biker looked like he was calculating whether this tiny nurse was bluffing. But before he could act, a voice boomed from the entrance. "What's going on here?" Officer Ramirez, the hospital's part-time security guard, strode in with 2 uniformed police officers. The biker's tough guy act crumbled in seconds. Ramirez moved fast, cuffing the leader while the others were herded toward the door. The bald man glanced back at Claire as he was dragged away, and though his expression was still hard, there was something new in it. Reluctant respect. As the automatic doors hissed shut behind them, the ward seemed to exhale. Claire set the splintered chair leg on the counter, her hands trembling now that the adrenaline had drained. The head doctor, a man who'd worked there for 3 decades, walked up and placed a hand on her shoulder. "That," he said softly, "was the bravest thing I've seen in this hospital." Claire gave a small smile. "I just did what needed to be done," she said, though inside she knew she'd crossed a line in herself, stepping from someone who reacted to someone who acted. Word spread fast. By the end of the day, nurses from other floors stopped by to thank her. Patients who'd witnessed it sent her notes or a thumbs up as she passed. She'd arrived that morning just another first-year nurse. She clocked out that night as someone people looked at with new respect. Walking home under the streetlights, Claire thought of her father again. He'd been the kind of man who ran toward burning buildings. She realized she hadn't just inherited his job ethic, she'd inherited his courage. The next morning, she came back to the ER and saw something strange in the corner where the old chair had been. A brand new chair sat in its place, and on the seat was the polished splintered leg she'd wielded like a weapon, a note taped to it. For Nurse Claire, the one who stood tall. She laughed softly and placed it on her desk, a reminder that sometimes you don't choose the moment. You just choose how to meet it. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's standing up when fear tells you to stay down. If this story moved you, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and drop bravery in the comments below.